Hello, world history class. How you doing? Hope everyone's doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, right? A week. Um, Crazy times, but we're gonna make it through it. We're gonna do better than Napoleon's empire. How about that? Because this one collapses, and that's not what's gonna happen. Okay, but it will happen to Napoleon. Okay, so I've been making these videos. They're pretty fun. I lost my voice yesterday doing them, so I'm trying to make them shorter and shorter. So today we're just going to focus on two reasons why Napoleon's empire collapsed. There's going to be some questions throughout the video. Some will be opinions, some will, or for you to guess, some will be factual. They're not for a grade, okay, so don't worry. Just put whatever you think. This is just kind of to get practice with the system. Okay, so if we remember, Europe in 1812, which is Napoleon's height of his empire, who is left here that's not under control of Napoleon? So here's our first question. Those red countries right there, can you name them? So I'm going to put in a box, and you should name as many as you can. Now, some are now not countries. Some used to have different names, but just put whatever you think. Okay, well, first of all, Napoleon, as it says, took an old trick from the history books. Our good friend King Henry VIII there, Napoleon did the same thing to his wife. Well, he didn't kill her, like Henry VIII happened to do with a bunch of his wives. He divorced his wife, who had been with him, as he built up this empire, and then that was a pretty nasty move. And he married a Habsburg, ironically, the grandniece of Marie Antoinette, who, as we know, is by this point, she's dead. She had her head chopped off. And she had a son, and that is Napoleon II. Oh, let's go back. What? No, stop. Ah, all right. No, don't stop it. Getting kind of new at this. Okay. Giving away an answer. See, yeah, I'm new at this video stuff, if you can tell. Okay, question for you. Who remembers at least one wife of Henry VIII? If you know all 6 of them, that would be great. But here's a box. I'm going to open up another question box, and you put your answer in there. Okay, collapse of Napoleon's empire. So we're going to do the first 2 right here. Invasion of Russia, we're going to wait till next week. That's a much bigger. It's huge. A lot to go through, and some stuff I want to do with maps. So, yeah, the height at 1812, but between these couple years, he made dumb mistakes and lost everything. So first we'll talk about the continental system. Now this map, what's in blue is just what we call continental Europe. This is not who controls what. This is just the continent of Europe. As we have here, Great Britain, still part of Europe, but not part of the continent. Okay, so just to make that clear. This continental system that Napoleon established was to make his control of Europe economically self-sufficient. So, again, he's got all this. The line's already there. But when you have control of all of these countries all around here, you have tons of resources, you have lots of food, you don't need to trade with other nations. And since Napoleon was very angry at Britain, he was at war with them, he wanted to basically cut them off from all of Europe, and damage the British economy. Because if the British economy is bad, they can't spend as much money on the military, and it's better for Napoleon. So he has the French Navy block all ports into continental Europe, so even if the British try, they can't sell any of the products in those countries. Now, as we're going to see, this doesn't quite work. Next up, okay, we did this. So, total fail. Britain had the best navy in the world. It had for a couple hundred years. It will for another 100 years. And this part, look at this. A lot of Napoleon's allies, they ignored the order. They ignored the blockade, including his own brother, who Napoleon made King of Holland. But yeah, it wasn't good for business. And then Britain, with a better navy, sets up its own blockade to keep people out of France. Okay, so let's think here. Sorry, my cell phone went off. The year is 1812, and if Napoleon controls continental Europe, or most of it, and then the British blockade that, who's possibly trading with... who are the British preventing from trading with the French? Yeah, that's how I want to say it. What other country, kind of new on the scene, is around and, wants to do business in Europe? Okay, if you said the United States of America, you are correct. As for other countries in the Western Hemisphere, Mexico is currently going through its independence in 1812, and the other Latin American countries would follow soon after. I'm sorry, someone's texting me. Don't you know I'm doing a video? Okay. Whoops. Alright, I lost my train of thought completely, so I'm going to end this video a little early and shut off my phone. But we have a couple questions to go through, and hopefully this wasn't too terrible. Next one's going to be better, I promise you that.